Ladies and gentlemen, imagine a moment where art, compassion, and community come together under one golden spotlight, a moment where stories of creativity, courage, and hope are celebrated not just by a nation, but by its very heart, the King and Queen of Denmark. That moment arrived this year, when King Frederik and Queen Mary stepped onto the stage to present the very first Royal Couples Awards 2025. This wasn't just another royal ceremony. It was a night of purpose, a night that told the story of a changing Denmark, one that values creativity, inclusion, and the power of people working together. For those who may not know, these awards were once called the Crown Prince Couples Awards. They were first created back in 2004 as a wedding gift from the Bikuben Foundation. But after King Frederik's accession to the throne, the awards have been reborn, more meaningful, more inclusive, and more connected to the modern spirit of Denmark. And this year, for the first time ever, 3 distinct honors were given under the royal couple's names. The Culture Award, the Social Award, and a brand new category, the Community Award. Let's begin with the Culture Award, which went to a woman who turns storytelling into social awareness, Christina Rosendahl. Christina is not just a filmmaker, she's a truth teller through art. Her films don't just entertain, they start conversations. She uses her camera to open our eyes to the world around us, to challenge what we think we know, and to bring light to stories that often go unheard. The jury praised her for pushing artistic boundaries, for showing that film can be both beautiful and bold, emotional yet deeply human. And in honoring her, the King and Queen reminded us all that culture isn't only about performance, it's about purpose. Next came the Social Award, presented to an organization that has turned compassion into action, Code of Care. Founded in Holstebro back in 2011, Code of Care believes that everyone deserves a chance, especially those who find it hardest to enter the job market. They connect companies, local councils, and citizens to create opportunities for people who might otherwise be left behind. In 2018, they aimed to create 230 jobs. By the end of that year, they had created nearly 1,000. And since then, they've helped more than 3,000 people find meaningful work across Denmark. Think about that, thousands of lives changed, thousands of families given hope, all because a community decided to care. That's what the Social Award stands for: inclusion, dignity, and the belief that every person matters. And then came the newest addition, the Community Award. A category that celebrates the strength of togetherness and the power of local action. This year's recipient, Green Neighborhood Communities, started with a simple idea. What if neighbors came together to make their streets greener, their towns cleaner, and their lives more sustainable? From that single spark, something extraordinary grew. Since 2020, the movement has expanded to more than 300 local communities, engaging around 47,000 people across the country. They plant shared gardens, reduce waste, build small-scale energy projects. And, most importantly, they build trust. In recognizing them, the King and Queen highlighted a truth we can all feel. That the future of our planet begins not with governments, but with neighbors. The ceremony itself was held in the historic Riddarhuset at Varket in Randers. A setting filled with Danish warmth, royal presence, and heartfelt applause. The event was broadcast nationwide on DR1 and DRTV, and before the awards, a special documentary, the Royal Couples Awards, The Chosen, took viewers behind the scenes to meet the winners, see their work, and understand their journeys. It wasn't just a show. It was a story of human connection. Of creativity meeting compassion, and tradition meeting transformation. Now, if there's one thing that stood out from this year's awards, it's this. The royal couple wanted to remind us that inspiration comes in many forms. It can be the artist who paints a vision of change. It can be the organization that gives a second chance. It can be the neighbors who plant a garden that grows into a movement. Through these awards, King Frederik and Queen Mary sent a message to Denmark, and to all of us. That greatness doesn't just belong to those in power or fame. It belongs to anyone with creativity, compassion, and commitment. So what can we take away from this year's Royal Couples Awards? That Denmark is more than just a nation, it's a living community of ideas, actions, and hope. That our culture is enriched not just by what we create, but by how we care. And that when leaders like King Frederik and Queen Mary shine their light on those who give, teach, and unite, that light spreads across every corner of society. Christina Rosendahl showed us the courage of creativity. Code of Care proved the strength of inclusion. And green neighborhood communities reminded us that small steps, taken together, can move mountains. That is the story of the Royal Couples Awards 2025. A story of art, empathy, and the extraordinary power of the everyday Dane. And as the applause echoed through Riddarhuset, one thing became clear. These awards aren't just about honoring achievements. They're about celebrating the heartbeat of Denmark itself. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe my channel.